are the house plants outside at Tebby household. First of all, I water everything with watering can out in front pretty much. This guy here only needs once a day. My count is 15. I do everything on counts, just makes it easier so you know how much water. This guy is wet all the time, so about every other day I give him a 10 count. This dude here, once a day. Usually in the afternoon I give him a good 20 count. If it's hotter you can give him a little more, but he's just once a day. And from here I walk over with the watering can and do the trees. There's two plants over here. There's the chair, which I do once a day, usually in the afternoon, about a 20 count. And then this little guy right here is just a 10 count, once a day. Sometimes he can make it almost 2 days. You can look at the soil. The big guy, purple guy here, he drinks a lot of water because of the dark flowers. I pour him once again with the watering can because it doesn't hurt the soil, but he gets a 30 count, and I do him twice a day. On a hot day, I will do him 3 times. You'll be able to tell, look at the soil and see how dry he is, but he likes his water. Once again, we don't want to overwater him, but he does a good 30 count twice a day. Pinky here, once a day, and gets a good 20 count, once again in the afternoon. This guy on the porch, he likes to be dry, so I water him once a day, and I only give him about a 20 count. He doesn't need much, once a day. And that's Mama Robin. She's just watching her babies. Then over here, I keep the hose rolled up because Joelle likes it. It's neater that way. But I just keep a chunk here because that length right there reaches to the center circle. And I water the center circle on shower. And I'll water this twice a day. And I count to about 50 or 100 depending on how warm it is. Most of the time I do 100 just because it doesn't hurt them. They like the water. That's it for the front of the house. Usually I'll fill my can so it's always full, so it sits a bit so there's less iron and stuff going in the plants. We're gonna walk to the backyard real quick. But as we walk to the backyard, I can tell you about the pool. The pool I filled up to the silver bolt line, which is halfway between the upper line and the lower line. So it should be good all week. I changed the chlorine. So there's a fresh chlorine. Filter comes on twice a day. 4 hours in the morning, usually goes off about 9:30, 10. And then it comes on at night for another 4 hours from about 6 to 10. Shouldn't have to worry about anything, except for maybe the filter. It wouldn't hurt to check once a day to look at it, see if there's a lot of crap in it. I just pull it out and you'll see there's a gut pile right next to it on the rocks. So for watering purposes, here, I do the front of the garden first, then the vegetables, then Nana's mom's garden inside. I keep the blue handle off because my hose leaks really bad out here. So when I go to water, I turn that sucker on. I grab the hose and I water. I start here. I do most stuff on shower because it doesn't beat the plants. But mom's front section here, I divide into 3 sections and I count to 100. So like the first section goes up to like these yellow flowers, do them for 100. Then the middle section, like from the yellow flowers to the pole, and I do them for 100 count. If these things need water, I give them some fresh water. These creatures here, these 3 plants, they only need water once a day. The 2 on the end, you got to stick the hose right up in that little crack, otherwise it won't get to them. In here, they only need about a good 10 count. This guy can take about a 20 count. He drinks a little more. Then again, I do this section for 100 count. Then I come over to the next set, and this I divide into 3, give it 100 count. So I go from here to here on the first one, that first hosta, and then the hosta to the purple flower is the next 100 count, and then the last 100 count is the purple flower all the way to the end. Now this section here, that over there to the left is butterfly bushes. They need a good drink. But these dudes over here are all newly planted, so we can soak the beans out of them. and Mom's back there on the fence, that's all new. So usually on shower, I water this front part, count to 100. You'll see those little ones, those are the first new little ones. Then I'll switch it to jet and water the whole back part, so because the hose doesn't stretch any further than where I am right now, or otherwise you'll get yourself into trouble. I put it on jet and water the back part, count to 100. Once I'm done here, I roll up the hose in my hand as I'm walking, and it just makes it easier to water the vegetable garden. I mean, I do this every day, twice a day, so I got it down to an art where you don't get kinks. So I roll till about here, then I walk in with the hose and I let it down, and it should give you just enough length to get you down to the end here with the zucchinis. The zucchinis like water. I do each mound about to a 40 count. Once again, as the week gets on and it gets hotter, you might want to give them a little more. And then I come over here, and each plant I do a 10 count or a 15 count, depending on how dry they look. And once again on shower, same here, all these guys, 10, 15 count. Then the caged area, the beans and the snap peas, I count to 40 on that little section. Then I come over here to the eggplants and I count to 40, get all them. Then I come back, hit these guys, 10, 15 count, 10, 15 count. Then I do Mom's onions. These onions dry out quicker than anything in the garden, so I'll shower them really good. Then I'll put the hose on full, water the asparagus, because the asparagus, you can't put, it's like rice patties, man. You can't put too much water on them. But while I'm watering that, the onions will soak up some of that water. When I get done with the asparagus, I'll put it back on shower, give the onions another squish, just because you'd be amazed how quick they dry out. Then I do the cherry tomatoes, count to about 40 on the whole box. The cucumbers love water, so I usually count to about 60 or 80. On hot days, I count to 100. They like water. Then from here, I'll stand here at the end. I'll roll the hose up again in my hand, once again, so it don't kink and it's easier to get out of the garden. Then I walk out of the garden and I head towards the pool. Now on the pool, there's just a few things to water. Mom's flower garden and the outside flowers and the vegetable garden are gonna get it twice a day. Over here is just once a day. This bucket only needs once a day, count to about 20, 25. And this guy, the bonfire, whatever it is, he likes to be dry. So I water him once a day, and I usually only count to 15. You can feel him. If he's not dry, just give him a little water. If he's bone dry, give him a nice drink, but he only needs it once a day. If you overwater him, you will kill him. The geranium here in the thing, usually I finger test him. He needs water about once every 2 days. Like right now, he's soaked. I probably won't water him today on Sunday or Monday. You'll get him first time on Tuesday maybe. This guy once a day, count to about 15. And then you can water Mom's stuff right here if you want, since you got the hose. All this down here. And then I drag the hose over here. Once again, I do it this way so it don't kink up. It's really good at not kinking up this way. I hate kinks. I water these guys, all these ground flowers. I count to about 40. Then I do Pinky, and I count to about 30 with him. These guys over here, all this, including Pinky, once a day. These guys once a day, once a day. And then I finish back up here with the hose. Guys on the ground once a day, and her sink once a day, and that's only about a 20 count. Then make sure, oh, we gotta water inside first, sorry. At the end, we gotta make sure we turn the hose off. So inside here, I grab the hose, I roll it up about 10 winds, because in order to get back here, this is where I start. It's just easier so you don't get caught on the brick. Then you can lay it down, takes me to about right here. I soak this dude, soak the rose, and then I start about the stork, and I water from the stork to about just past this white plant, and I count to 100. Everyone getting drinks on shower. Then I walk the hose back over here, and I start here, and do the front part. This about 100 count, pretty much to about the lizard. That way they get a nice drink, making sure you get those beads on the rocks. That's when I check the fish and see if they need water and all that. If I do, I'll give them water. But then this last section, you go up to the duck. That's about 100 count. This dude right here is Mom's new plant that she just planted. He needs water about once a day. Count to about 20, but he only gets it once. The rest of their flowers get it twice a day, but this guy only once, he's new. Then I'll take the hose, walk around the table, stretch it once again so it's not kinking. You can get to about here where the fox is. And then I spray the big circle area, easily 100 count. This area dries out the most of anything. So I give them a nice 100 count. And then I walk in over here. This guy in the bucket has seen better days, but I just give him a squish once a day. You don't need a ton. But I water from about the mushroom to the duck, another 100 count. And then up here is all done. Then I come back over here and start. I divide this into 3. I go from the end to about these white flowered looking dudes, tall ones, and that's 100 count. Then I come down here to the middle section, which is from the white flowers to the purple flower. Count about 100. And then I do the end section, and they get about 100 count. And then that's it, pretty much for in here. Oh, this guy in the chair, once a day. I give him about a 15-second squish. All he needs is once a day. So, then I come out here, and I turn the hose off, and you're done with this end. Once again, the flowers and the veggies twice a day. All we got left now is the patio. I've moved some of the hanging plants up here just to make it easier for you, because these are the 5 plants that dry out the quickest when they're in their normal hanging spots. So usually what I do with the hose, I start wherever the hose is at. So today we'll start over here, and the reason I tell you this is so it don't kink. I hate a kinking hose. So if you start here, you can water Mom's herbs, you can water her sink, all that stuff, but you have enough room just to reach over here to Lucy. Lucy gets water once a day. Everything on the patio is pretty much once a day. Lucy gets a 30 count. Then if you walk back around here, the hose won't kink up, shouldn't. You walk around the fire pit, you can catch this guy. Frog guy needs about once every other day. This guy needs a squish. That guy needs a squish. And of course the fern, you can douse the living crap out of them. Then you turn around. You got that dude. Drag your hose over here. Get this guy. These flowers have not been planted yet, so they seem to dry out pretty good. You only got to do them once a day, but make sure you get it on shower and get right up in there, because they do dry out easy. This guy needs a quick squish. Everything on the fence is a once a day and just needs a quick squish. Count of 15, no more. Same with this guy up here, he needs count of 15. Now, your hanging plants that are sitting here in the sun, they normally get water twice a day where they normally hang, but back here I'm thinking that we're only going to need 1 good water. So you can check them in the morning if you want. If they're really dry, you could water them, but I think they're just going to need water once in the afternoon and give them a nice good 30 count. If anybody dries out, it's going to be this dude right here, because up front I've been watering him twice a day, so you could keep an eye on him, but I think he'll be okay back here once a day. He's not on rocks. When you water these begonia little guys, make sure you get the hose down in here, because if you water from the top, the leaves refract it. Same with that guy, so you got to water down here to get to him. 15 count. This guy's doing awesome. 15 count. And then the fern, you can douse him. So that's it. And then use your judgment, but that pretty much, if you stick to that, you'll know who needs what and how much water.